Hi everybody. So when you're playing chords, when you're comping on a guitar, do you find this happening? Might ask, what's that exactly? And that's moving that way down the neck. Okay. Interestingly, like most of the tunes you like to play in the jazz repertoire and sort of standard real repertoire seem to have a tendency to go that way. I mean, this is for any number of reasons. Probably the most obvious one is that we tend to use a lot of back cycling chord progressions, and they tend to have descending melodies. If you ever listen to, like Baroque music or whatever, always goes down, and then jumps up again, and then goes down. So it's like the law of gravity or something. That seems to be the way things go. And on the guitar, that's reflected by a sort of gradual movement in that direction until we run out of space. We have to jump up to the top of the neck again. So very simply, from a mechanical point of view, we might want to instead try putting melodies in that go in the other direction, that go up. So how do we do that? And the answer is we learn as many chords as possible. But the simplest way of doing it to start off with is, obviously this is a great exercise for going through your repertoire of chords. So if I had to start with, what should we do? Let's do Autumn Leaves, nice and simple, right? So I start with, a C minor chord. C minor's 9 maybe. And then F7, this with a flat 5, just because why wouldn't you put a flat 5 in? They're fun. And then, so we went from the 6-9, sorry I should play B flat 6-9 there, to an E flat major 7th, to part of the secret of it is also to make sure you've got the bottom notes going on as well. It's nice. And obviously it becomes harder and harder to, think of voicing sometimes as you go up. So maybe you need to inevitably start moving your chords into a higher position. But the actual practice of doing that really unlocks a lot of possibilities for voice leading. And we can say this to the nth degree, really. One of the nicest things to do on the guitar, because we don't hear it very often, is actually have the melody go in an opposite direction to the chords. That has a contrary motion. That has a really nice effect psychologically, because we're just used to hearing things going, just going that way down the neck. And therefore having, in general, if we use like combinations of, in this case, drop 2 and drop 3 chords, whatever sharp voicings we're using, we tend to like to voice lead the top melody like this. So it's really a good thing to try and explore ways of making sure the melody goes in other directions. And there's a couple of ways we can do this. Obviously, the first way is to learn every inversion that we can. That's kind of important, but some of them sound better than others. And not all inversions are equal. So if you play a third inversion, that's going to have a different energy. As a major 7th chord, a completely different sound. Third inversion from a root position, but even a first position has a different energy from a root position. They're all different. So actually, in a way, it's quite good sometimes to get used to just using root position chords, but augment them with other top notes. So for instance, that's a C minor 11, not a difficult chord. F, or maybe I like this one. It's an F with a flat 9 on top anyway. That's an F13 flat 9. That's just a regular 7 flat 9. You can choose either some kind of B flat 13 or 6th chord, but it's got to have the G on top. Then maybe we move to this kind of a thing. Some E flat Lydian chord with a sharp 4 on top. This particular one is a F over an E flat. Then, what about something a little bit more exotic? We've got to this chord. Maybe we don't want to just play a regular, boring minor 7 flat 5. Maybe you want to put, put the sharp 2 on top. Why not? Sounds great. Interesting voicing for a D flat 9 chord, D7 flat 9. But you could just use a regular diminished. I just thought that might be a little bit exciting, which is a kind of triad with the bottom note put up by a half step. Stands in very well for a diminished chord. So we can use that sound. And eventually we get to the G minor, which I've substituted in with the G minor 11th, and a G minor 7 flat 5 by way of movement, and then I thought, let's take last refuge of the scoundrel and sub in a C9, because 2 5s, right? G minor C7. So you can have a lot of fun coming up with like kind of more creative things. It can also be nice to start in the lower register as well. Notice that most of these chords are root position. I'm not moving too much to like anything unfamiliar. So that's just a 5th, right? Because we can't fit any other notes in. Okay, and then we're going to go to this one. Yeah, and then that's an E flat major. And then, how do we do that? Maybe flat 5. Oh yeah, get a 9th in there. Yeah, he's an A minor 7th there, so an A minor 7 flat 5. That gives you that chromatic motion. Okay, so most of the voicings I'm using are just root position voices, dead simple, but I'm just adding in just like a little bit of extra something, usually the top note moving the other direction as much as possible, and modifying the shapes as best as I can to do that. And this is a great exercise to do with whatever tunes you're practicing. Okay, if you find that for whatever reason the tune is naturally leading you to move upwards along the fretboard, try and see if you can find a way to go down. This obviously happens a lot less in regular jazz tunes, but maybe you might be playing something non-functional that does that, in which case it's good to try and do the opposite to develop freedom and flexibility. Anyway, I hope you find that helpful. Thanks for watching.